I just want to spend a moment and give you this little bonus of information. As you are looking at your self-talk, sometimes it relates to our confidence. If we don't have high confidence, then we're going to be more likely to go down the negative self-talk path instead of the positive self-talk path. So when it comes to student athletes, I've noticed over the years that a lot of times people will feel confident on the court or the field, but they don't feel confident in the classroom. And so one of the things that I've tried to convey is that if you can learn to be successful in your sport, you can learn to be successful in the classroom. Okay, does that mean you're going to be an A student? No. But the way that you earn those skills, the way that you develop those skills is the same. Okay? And places where we derive confidence, I think those have a big overlap as well. We'll talk about that, why that is in just a moment. But these are the sources of confidence. So I feel like, confidence leads us towards those paths, right? So if we're a little unsure, we're more likely to go with the negative self-talk. If we're a little bit more positive, probably more likely, or more confident, probably going to lean more towards the positive self-talk. So in sport, these are our three main areas of confidence. And then we're going to talk about specific places to get those. So the first one is achievement. I feel like that's probably the most obvious, right? If you've succeeded in something in the past, then you're going to be more likely to approach that task with confidence. That also plays into that cycle we were talking about where we expect a good outcome because we've had a good outcome before. So achievement is the main, most important, best source of confidence, okay? Self-regulation is how we feel about our own ability, so it's our perception of our ability to control ourselves, right? To prepare and to show up on the day of this task. So that's how we feel about ourselves and really our sense of control over that situation or that task. And then the third thing is our social climate. Okay, so we'll talk about these. There's a lot more listed here, but this is the biggest source, the achievement. So if you look, there are two different areas. So there's a past experience of mastery and then a demonstration of actual ability. So if you have confidence, but you don't have these experiences, then it's not genuine confidence. So if I were to go into a match with Michael Phelps, right, and I'm going in and I'm like, yeah, I can beat him. I can totally beat him. That's not confidence. That's just talk, okay? Because I don't have these experiences of mastery or of the actual ability. So experience of mastery is if you've done this thing before. And demonstration of ability is kind of taking little puzzle pieces, little pieces of that ability and going, okay, well, I've not done this thing before, but I did pass this. So a great example of that is approaching like a biology test, right? So let's say you're taking A&P. That's a notoriously challenging class to take. So you're taking A&P. You have not mastered A&P, otherwise you wouldn't be in the class. So you haven't done that actual thing. But you're looking back, and you're like, you know what? I passed the first exam in here, or quiz. Maybe you're looking at all the little quizzes that you've taken, and you look at your first exam, and you say, you know what? I think I can do this because I have demonstration of that actual ability. I've done something similar. Maybe you also reflect on your past experiences in other science classes. That helps you fill in this, and it is a huge source of confidence, okay? The next thing, so before we move on, we could do another series just on confidence and work our way through all of these little pieces. So feel free to write this down and kind of, jot down like where you draw your confidence for that specific task. So it has to be task specific. So what you would approach your sport with, like where you would get these demonstrations of ability for sport, is going to be different than going into the classroom. But you can also, so maybe you don't have those achievements specific to the classroom for that A&P exam, but you look at your sport experience and you say, okay, I don't have this, right? Like sport is different than the classroom. So I can't draw from that. What I can draw is my feelings of self-regulation. I know that I can face up to a challenge. I know that I can show up on the day of the event. I know how to prepare. I know how to come at it with like a, kind of that mental toughness, resilience mindset. You got that from the field or the court, and you can definitely bring that to the classroom. You wouldn't have this achievement, that specific achievement, but you definitely have those self-regulation skills, okay? That is what you're going to draw from if you feel confident on the field or court, but not in the classroom. Pull from that. It's our ability to prepare. Oh my gosh, if you're in sport and you're playing at this level, you definitely know how to prepare. Maybe you need your coach yelling at you sometimes, but you know how to prepare. You can do it. It's both physical and mental. You ever get in the zone before you go to your game? Same thing happens in the classroom. Prepare mentally. You don't want to take the test stressed. You want to relax just like you would out on the field or the court. And then your physical self-presentation. So that's actually how we show up. So when you put on your team uniform, that puts you in that mindset of, I got this. I belong on the team. So I grew up in martial arts, and I've been doing it for, 30-something years at this point. And my karate uniform, it's karate pajamas, right? We joke around that that's what they are. It's ridiculous. But when I put that thing on, it's a whole different world. Like, I feel successful, and I pull from those pieces of confidence. I used to also, in school, high school and college, I would come home and I would just leave my uniform on and finish my homework. And I got so much homework done those nights because I just was almost drawing from that confidence from that uniform. So whatever presentation it is that you need to get into to study, I kind of mentioned this when we were in the time management video, but if you show up in your sweatpants, you're not going to draw that confidence. If you show up to study in your pajamas, you're not going to come up with that same confidence. So maybe you put on something, put on some clothes, maybe you put on like a team, your team pullover or something like that really makes you feel good about yourself. Kind of thinking about the places and the times that you have achieved, that you can still draw that same positive energy and apply it to the classroom. Okay? And then the last thing is your social climate. So that definitely applies more in sport than in the classroom. But you got your social support, your teammates, and I know your coach is rooting for you to do well in the classroom. So there's that support. Vicarious experience, that's when you see someone similar to you also achieving. So you're worried about your A&P test, your teammate took it the previous hour or whatever, or last semester, and they did well. So you're going to draw from that. Those social connections help build your confidence. The leadership believing in you, coach, okay, if your coach has you, hopefully eventually we can do this enough that we build that connection as well. Your leaders believe in you that you can do this, okay? Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the team. They need a student athlete, not just an athlete. Your environmental comfort. So taking that back to sport, if you've ever stepped on the field and it's not your home field and you feel super uncomfortable there, that's not improving your confidence. But if you step onto the field like your home court or your home field and you feel that extra surge of energy, part of it's due to the fans, part of it's due to the familiarity, but that environmental comfort, can help you succeed. So when you're studying, once we're back on campus, you could even go study maybe in that classroom where you're going to be taking that exam if those classrooms are open. Get in there, get comfortable being in there, and just kind of wrapping your head around that. And then the last thing is situational favorableness. That's when you step into the game and you think that the referees are going to be fair. You think that the weather, that the field is okay because of the weather. In the classroom, that would be kind of the mindset that this teacher grades fairly, or they're not out to get you, which I'll be honest, I don't know any teacher who's ever been out to get another student or a student, but sometimes it feels that way, right? They're just there to kind of prove you wrong and they want you to fail that test. Whereas the other times you feel like they're rooting you on and they want you to win. So take all of these things and maybe look at your sport experience. Make a list here of where you draw your confidence from sport. Then put another column and figure out where you draw your confidence in the classroom and how you can kind of find some crossover between those so that you use your sport experience to build your confidence in the classroom. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. If you want more information or more worksheets or access to, I did a video series on all of this. So if you want more information on that, just send me an email and I will happily send you the link. Okay?